Welcome to the Under Construction Podcast with me, Martin Williams. Here we talk about how to build or rebuild your life one step at a time. Let's get to work. And thank you for tuning in to the Under Construction Podcast. My name is Martin Williams. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. You may do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud. All the links to the podcast can be found at guidedexpressions.com/podcast with an S. Today, my topic is no one is coming to save you. So, by now, most of you have seen the footage of the riots that happened at the nation's capital, and the people that stormed the nation's capital, and we've also heard that 5 people died in the riot, including a police officer who was trying to guard the Capitol from being besieged. And, we are all shocked, and the vast majority of people are disgusted at what happened. And really it kind of goes across all political beliefs. Politics in the United States has gotten so toxic. I mean, it was never like a non-controversial topic. You always had people who believed what they believed, and there was always a lot of argument and all of that. But the political discourse in this country has gotten to the place where I don't want to engage in it anymore. I've limited my engagement considerably in the past year surrounding politics. I don't argue politics with people because honestly, it's not even about politics anymore. It's not even about policy. It's about, it's kind of like arguing with a fan of another sports team. That's what it's become. So, it's not something that I really waste a lot of time doing, because you're not going to change anyone's mind. And quite frankly, I don't know if I want to. I think it's really more about just letting people know what's going on in the world, and letting people know, like, the structures of government. I think a lot of people don't really have a firm grasp of how government works, how laws work, who their representative is. A lot of people don't know who their congressperson is, which is a bit scary because this person is representing you and making laws on your behalf. So you might want to find out who they are. And I'm sure this is not just happening in the United States. I'm sure in other countries as well, we have the same cognitive dissonance when it comes to politics. So I'm all for awareness, but when it comes to like arguing, I don't really get into it. So I took that long trip, as I often do, to get to a point. And the point is that no one's coming to save you. Right? No matter who you are, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, liberal, conservative, independent, libertarian, doesn't matter. No one's coming to save you, right? There's a new administration that is starting on January 20th, and it is a person that I did vote for. But I do also understand that person is not saving me in any way. That person is not saving my family in any way, right? I understand that my life, the quality of my life, is ultimately up to me. And my family's quality of life is ultimately up to me. It's not up to Joe Biden or Donald Trump or whoever else will be president after Joe Biden leaves the office. And I think that's a fundamental understanding that we all need to have, right? You can have a preference of candidates, but you have the biggest say in how your life goes, right? You have the biggest influence in your life, whatever you choose to do. It's really more up to you than it is to anyone else. And I think that's very, very important for everyone to understand, because I think so much of the vitriol that we see and that we saw at the Capitol and that we see on social media each and every day comes from people who really believe that, if one person gets in, then we're all doomed, right? And that's not ever happened, right? Even though I wasn't a Donald Trump supporter, and when he won in 2016, I was not happy at all. But even with as much dread that came with, it didn't really affect my life in a significant way, because I knew that at the end of the day, whether Donald Trump won or Hillary Clinton won, that I would have to go to work and I would have to still, make plans for my future. And I still would have to work hard and do all these different things. Like, none of that changes because Donald Trump is in office. It doesn't, right? And so I think a lot of what people get upset about is that it is the, I don't want to say delusion, but it's kind of like the appearance that this person getting elected to office is going to ruin my life and ruin my family's life. Now, if you are, let's say, a person who immigrated to this country and you're undocumented, that might be true, right? It might be true if you are looking for health insurance. It might be true if, you're a business person and you received a bunch of tax cuts in the previous administration, and now you have someone who is looking to roll back those tax cuts, right? So there are people all across the spectrum, but for the vast majority of people, who the president is really doesn't matter as far as your day-to-day life. It's really more important to understand that no one's coming to save you. No one is going to wave a magic wand and make your life 100% better, whether they're a politician or not, whether it's a politician, a celebrity, whoever, it doesn't matter. It's not going to change your life in any significant way. You have the biggest say-so over your life. You have the biggest input as to how your life turns out, right? If you're not saving, if you're not investing, if you're not working out every day and eating right, if you're not, limiting the amount of alcohol and tobacco or other drugs that you intake, if you're not, protecting yourself with sexual partners, if you're not doing those things, you're going to ruin your life a lot faster than Donald Trump would. Okay. I just, I feel like I have to say that sometimes, because I think a lot of people feel as if, oh man, this person got in and, they're going to destroy my life, and, they're going to destroy our way of life and destroy America and all this other stuff. And America's still standing, even after 4 years of Trump. America's still standing. America's still standing. Ronald Reagan in his second term, it's pretty much been documented that he was not all there mentally. Like, his Alzheimer's set in after the second term began. So, other people were running the country, and Ronald Reagan was basically a figurehead for a good, 2 to 3 years, maybe longer, right? So you have, all these people who say, well, we can't let this person in because, what's going to happen. And I certainly understand being aware and understanding that, yes, the president, whoever's president, does matter on a global scale, but in your personal life, it's better saying that you're the president of your life, right? Because really, your decision-making is going to make way more of a difference than whoever's sitting in the White House. So I just wanted to speak on that because, I see things like what happened at the Capitol, and, these people are angry, and I don't I really don't think that it's an anger that is, like a made up anger. Like I think people are genuinely angry and genuinely upset, but I also think that they've been deluded. I think they've been more or less led astray. I think they've been, lied to, because they truly think that the people in Washington, in the Capitol, are ruining their lives. And the reality is that's simply not the case. So I just wanted to talk about that. It's really going to be the last time I talk about it. But I wanted to talk about it. I felt the need to talk about it because, it's an important stage in our history. It's a shame that it happened. It was 100% a terrorist attack. I don't feel any way of saying, I don't think that that's too extreme to say that. But I also think that there are bigger fish to fry. And, I would say look at your life and look at the things that you could be doing differently. And most of us know what those things are, if you really want to make a change in your life. And when you start changing your life, one by one, we start changing the world. And so with that, I'm going to sign off for now. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share the podcast, and I will talk to you soon. Don't forget to subscribe to the Under Construction podcast on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and SoundCloud. For more information on Guided Expressions courses and products, go to guidedexpressions.com/products.